Edward here from erviewer.com. I have another video for you. There's a big topic that I want to discuss in this video before I go into this session and all that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about the subliminal barrier, or this area of our awareness where we basically hit a wall. We hit the barrier, or what's considered the threshold of our awareness. But I want to address it as the subliminal barrier, and I've hit on this, or I've talked about it in many videos, and I want to talk about it again because it's such a big deal. In that I have questioned why we have a subliminal barrier. Why do we even have a subliminal barrier at all? Some have, kind of speculated that if we did not have a subliminal barrier, then we would be inundated with information of all types, and we would be completely overwhelmed, and we would go crazy, and these types of things. I don't believe that is true. I look at the subliminal barrier more as a prison wall, like we're in a mental, or we're in a perceptual prison, so to speak, where we're only focused or accessing specific types of perceptions, things that we can see it and hear it and all that kind of stuff. And that below the subliminal barrier is where the rest of these, our perceptual spectrum exists below the threshold of awareness, below the subliminal barrier. When we're remote viewing or having this experience, I'd call it perceptual expressionism or abstract perceptualism. When we're having those experiences, we are having we're dipping down below the subliminal barrier. We're pulling things up above the subliminal barrier. And my point of view is that our true nature is below the subliminal barrier. That if we did not have a subliminal barrier, we would be expressing who we truly are. I like to call it pure consciousness. And that if we were to lower the subliminal barrier or remove the subliminal barrier altogether, we would not go crazy. In fact, we would become who we truly are. And that's what I love so much about remote viewing, what I love so much about perceptual expressionism, because it allows me to dip into our true nature, which has access to the universe and that kind of thing. I'm not even going to try to explain it because I don't even know how to explain it or how to describe it, But I want to address it in that manner. That when I come upon my own subliminal barrier, I'm pounding away at it like I'm pounding on a wall. And I'm trying to break through it so that I can get more into my true self, the nature of my own being, the nature of my own consciousness. And it's behind that subliminal barrier. So I wanted to convey that because I'm so passionate about it. And it's been in some discussions that I've had recently, and I wanted to really kind of open up about it. So as far as this session goes, this experience that I've had that came through with this session was very good. It felt great to me. In that, what I like to do is I like to get into the nature of the target. What is the nature of the target? I'm interested in that. I want to experience the nature of it. And it took a little bit of time in this one, but I was able to bring myself, and I use those words. Those words work for me. Describe the nature of this point in time and space, or whatever is coming through. Describe the nature of that. And in this one, it was or the point in time and space, or the target, was the celebration of this team that had won the solar-powered vehicle, solar-powered car race in Australia. And so they were celebrating the race. They won the race. They built this solar car, this car that runs off of solar energy, and they won the race. So what I was experiencing was sustainability, nature, resources, our relationship with nature as a resource, and that kind of thing. And that was a very fulfilling experience for me. And that's what makes remote viewing or perceptual expressionism so rewarding for me, is because I want a rewarding experience. I want to experience my true nature, which is why I continue to pound away at the subliminal barrier. And again, behind or below, or however we want to describe it, that subliminal barrier, I believe, is our where we have access to our true nature of what we are. And so I hope you find that interesting, and many more to come. Seven, 5, 6, 3. White, brown, black, dingy, sooty, soot, like gritty, smooth, brown, white, grainy, earthy, yellow, brown, green, back and forth, some kind of movement, cascading, memory comparison, like a rainbow. Well, that's not memory comparison, that's like an idea, Jen. The idea. Like a rainbow. Hang on a second. Like a rainbow or oil slick. Yeah, that kind of, like that. Sloping, edged, brown, dirty, yeah, dirty, what do I mean about it? It's earthy, it doesn't mean earthy, and smooth. Earthy, smooth, looping. Okay, the idea here, more ideas of, again, of carrying, like, this is the idea is bringing something with. Like if there was something on here. White. White. fanning. Or fanning out like that. Something about that kind of shape. Fanning out. Wooden, black, grainy, dimpled. Getting this memory now I'm getting a memory comparison of like an old west town. An old west town, you know, wooden buildings and that kind of thing. Wooden buildings like that. But I get this kind of fanning. Opening. That's the idea. But no, there's something different to that. But it's like a rainbow. What do I mean by that? Like a rainbow, fanning like a fan, but something in like that. What do I mean by that? Blue. Moist. Coarse, brittle, edged, got this kind of random thought coming in. Or unimpeded, I don't know. Flight, or like flight of stairs. Like a flight of stairs. You know, but it's like that. Unfolding. Yeah, like it's unfolding. Like it's unfolding, unwrapping. Unwrapping. No, unwrapping. Unfolding. Unfolding and wrapping. What else? Unfold like that. Like a sheet. Like a sheet unwrapped. Fanning out. Seven, 5, 6, 3. 7, 5, 6, 3. No, 7, 5, 6, 3. No. 7, 5, 6, 3. Curved. Like in a line. In a line. In a line. It's like that. In a line. I don't like that though. These here. In a line like I feel like wood or trees. That kind of thing. Wood. Wooden tree, fanning out though, fanning out, let's try a movement. Move to the unfolding and describe its nature. Who's the unfolding? What is its nature? I'm getting this idea of like a what is the name of that? What is the name of that instrument? Like they, you know, like like a squeeze box or something like that. Like a squeeze box. What's the name of that now? You know, kind of unfolds and I forget the name of it. Flowing. There's some noise, there's some sounds. Noise. You know, and then this is giving me this memory comparison of music. You know, some kind of like a music, like there's sounds, there's sound there. There's sounds there, there's sounds. It's making me think of music because I'm thinking of this instrument, which name I can't remember right now. Squeeze box. Cascading. Cascading. The sound there. There is sound. Yeah, I'm getting this rhythm. There's a rhythm, a pulse, a pulsation, a rhythm there. I'm getting this memories, or these kind of, this could be more, feels more like it could be a creative addition of like a country country band, country music band. Get that kind of rustic feel. Feels kind of rustic, but that doesn't feel right though. What do I mean by rustic? I mean kind of rural, rural, nature. I'm getting this kind of natural, natural feeling. Wood, wooden. It's wood. Has a kind of old style feel. Old style feel to it. Kind of not modern. The idea. The idea of not modern. It's just an idea. That could be meaning. It could be nature in its own state. In its own state. In its own state. This cascading feels like multicolor. Prism. 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 Multicolor. Prism. Prism unfolding. Unfolding. Unwrapping, unfolding, rolling, rolling out. So it could be like rolling out. Earth. Rolling, unfolding. This kind of, something like that kind of dynamic. The dynamic. Random thought, fishing. Actually, it's kind of an image now, so. Yeah, moist, wet. That cascading. Yeah. Cascading, fanning out. I'm getting these images in my mind now. Getting these images of water over rocks. This kind of rainbow thing. spectrum. Color spectrum, like that. Color spectrum, light shining through. That's kind of where I'm getting at. Light shining through, you know. If this was light shining through it, sparkly, giving me memory comparisons of champagne. Like that, sparkly, reflective. There's a word coming in, donor. What does that mean, donor? A donor is somebody who gives something. They give something of themselves. A donor gives a piece of themselves to someone else. A donor gives something that they have to someone else. Donor. A donor of themselves to someone else. That's what a donor is. A donor, they take from themselves and they give to someone else. Provide. They provide. Provision. Provision is sustenance. Provisioning is sustenance. Yeah, and they're given as well. Provision. Spectrum. This is like something with nature. So when they think how nature provides, nature is our biggest donor. Right? Let me write that down. How high can I go here? Nature is our biggest and only donor, provider, nature is our biggest donor, our biggest provider, our only and only provider. Nature is our biggest and only donor and provider. It's this kind of dependency that I'm getting. This is a kind of an AI. Dependency. A dependency, need We are dependent on nature. A donee is dependent on the donor. That kind of thing. There's this dynamic involved of feeling. There's and this is like give and take. Relationship. Yeah, give and take. There's something about that is interesting. There's something about that idea that is making it interesting to me. That dynamic. There's something about that dynamic. Dependency. That kind of, this may be like a stage 7, we need you. There's something about that, which is bringing me back to this kind of like this nature's involvement. Our need, our dependency, our relationship with nature. Our natural dependency on nature. Resources. That kind of thing. Our dependency on nature. Nature, we are the donee of the nature's is the donor. Give and take, okay. Provisions, okay. A natural act. Natural act. Nature and well-being. Happiness. That kind of thing. Or not survival. Sustainability. That kind of thing. Or dependency. Like that. All right.